Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Baka ni kamuzumarimasu kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite sume miyoya kamu izanagi no mikoto tsukushi no himoka no tachi hana no odo no ahagi hara ni misogi hara itamo toki ni narimaseru harai dono o kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegareo harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomoni ame no fuji koma no mimi furi tatete kikoshi mese to kashikomi momaosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Shie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Kam nagara tamachi hai mase. Kam nagara tamachi hai mase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your grace. Please be seated for group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. Today's teaching is entitled A Way to Live, from Daily Inspirations, page 54. Priceless are those who always think of the welfare of others and pray for all the world. Those who forget their own interests and uphold what is right and just are the strongest, bravest people in the world. Narrow-minded are those who boast and make a great show of their merits and achievements. Since my early years, I have loved to make others happy. So much so that it has become almost my favorite pastime. My thoughts are always centered on how can I help others to become truly happy. I believe one of the things that helps me most in being able to enjoy the happiness I feel today is this mental attitude. For this reason, I continue to say and write. Unless we make others happy, we ourselves can never become truly happy. I'm sure that the greatest goal of our mission, the realization of paradise on earth, can be attained when this way of thinking has spread and is shared by all people on earth. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this Miroku Association morning service. Meishu-sama talks in the teaching today of those who make a big show of their merits and achievements. That's a flaw in someone's personality or something that others may point that on them. They have this air of arrogance, or they are always talking about their virtuous deeds or their achievements. Of course, when we encourage others to share their faith experiences, they have to show what was unfortunate, disastrous, or bothersome, and what they could have done to overcome the situation. So they have to tell details that, depending on who listen to the experience, may sometimes take the wrong impression. But what is important is the feeling, the thought that the person who is sharing is not to make a great show. For myself, I have shared many of my personal experiences, of my family experiences. Back in Brazil, my wife's family in Japan. So some are very successful stories. So since in my heart, in my soul, there's no intention of showing off, but to show a way. So that's okay to show the accomplishments in that way, as long as the feeling is not to one putting airs of superiority or that they know better, that kind of thing. So Meishu-sama was always very humble in that regard. There is always this passage in the reminiscences about Meishu-sama, because there were those who wanted Meishu-sama to put airs of importance. Or you are a spiritual leader, you should present yourself more astonishingly or something like that. And Meishu-sama said, look, I will always be who I am, as natural as I can be. If you don't like the way I am, you don't have to see me anymore. That's what Meishu-sama, very open-minded, very transparent, and he wouldn't change because people would have different opinions about him. Today, I would like to share the faith experience of Maria Freitas. She's from Teresina, Brazil. And this is what the Maria's story is. She has been a Johrei member for 27 years and dedicates as a missionary. She has always looked to Meishu-sama's teachings and our basic practice of faith for understanding and strength to face purifications and overcome challenges. So this is something that happened in the family. The face-to-face activities of the church were suspended because of the pandemic, and she tried to keep connected with God and Meishu-sama through the practice of faith at home. She watched our online services, studied the divine writings of Meishu-sama's teachings, offered her donation of gratitude, and called the members of a group she assists to find out how they were doing. In addition, she channeled Johrei daily to her family, which is comprised of 6 people. But what happened was that her son was unemployed for more than a year and a half. And then during the pandemic, her daughter-in-law also became jobless. So Maria and her husband were very concerned with all that situation. With this jobless situation, her daughter-in-law, she started going to her son's house to channel Johrei to the couple, which she did for 75 days without interruption. Every day she was giving them Johrei. She studied with them experience of faith and attended the online evening services. After this period, her daughter-in-law was inspired to do the same with her parents and started to channel Johrei to them almost daily. In September of last year, she got a job, earning 3 times as much as her previous employment. As a way of expressing her gratitude and aiming to solve this situation with her son, who was still without a job, she made what is we call mitamamigaki, which is the dedication to cleaning our surroundings, cleaning our homes or office space as a soul polishing. So she did this mitamamigaki in her home, put flowers in all rooms, and then held a Johrei gathering, which included the participation of her husband, son, and daughter-in-law. After the Johrei exchange, they studied Meishu-sama's teachings and the faith experience of the day. The following week, her son was surprised by the news that he had passed a selection process and finally returned to the job market after nearly 2 years without a steady job. Both are currently working, making financial progress, and continue to carry out their practice of faith at home. With this experience, she reinforced the conviction that in the face of any difficulty, we must maintain our connection with God through the feelings of gratitude, reading Meishu-sama's teachings, channeling and receiving Johrei, and doing our practice of faith. Maria's commitment is to continue dedicating the divine work, serving with all love and joy in this wonderful work of salvation. That was a very nice experience from Maria Teresina, Brazil. I want to thank you very much for attending this morning service. I want to wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week ahead of us. And with this concludes our morning service. Thank you very much.